Genesis Chapter 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and desolate, and there was darkness upon the surface of the watery deep, and God's active force was moving about over the surface of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." Then there was light. After that, God saw that the light was good, and God began to divide the light from the darkness. God called the light day, but the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, a first day. Then God said, "Let there be an expanse between the waters, and let there be a division between the waters and the waters." Then God went on to make the expanse, and divided the waters beneath the expanse from the waters above the expanse. And it was so. God called the expanse heaven. And there was evening, and there was morning, a second day. Then God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be collected together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. God called the dry land earth, but the collecting of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the earth cause grass to sprout, seed-bearing plants, and fruit trees according to their kinds, yielding fruit along with seed on the earth." And it was so. And the earth began to produce grass, seed-bearing plants, and trees yielding fruit along with seed, according to their kinds. Then God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, a third day. Then God said, "Let there be luminaries in the expanse of the heavens, to make a division between the day and the night, and they will serve as signs for seasons and for days and years. They will serve as luminaries in the expanse of the heavens to shine upon the earth." And it was so. And God went on to make the two great luminaries, the greater luminary for dominating the day, and the lesser luminary for dominating the night, and also the stars. Thus God put them in the expanse of the heavens to shine upon the earth, and to dominate by day and by night, and to make a division between the light and the darkness. Then God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, a fourth day. Then God said, "Let the waters swarm with living creatures, and let flying creatures fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens." And God created the great sea creatures, and all living creatures that move and swarm in the waters according to their kinds, and every winged flying creature according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. With that God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful, and become many, and fill the waters of the sea, and let the flying creatures become many in the earth." And there was evening, and there was morning, a fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, domestic animals and creeping animals and wild animals of the earth according to their kinds." And it was so. And God went on to make the wild animals of the earth according to their kinds, and the domestic animals according to their kinds, and all the creeping animals of the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have in subjection the fish of the sea, and the flying creatures of the heavens, and the domestic animals, and all the earth, and every creeping animal that is moving on the earth." And God went on to create the man in his image. In God's image he created him. Male and female he created them. Further, God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful, and become many. Fill the earth and subdue it, and have in subjection the fish of the sea, and the flying creatures of the heavens, and every living creature that is moving on the earth. Then God said, Here I have given to you every seed-bearing plant that is on the entire earth, and every tree with seed-bearing fruit. Let them serve as food for you. And to every wild animal of the earth, and to every flying creature of the heavens, and to everything moving on the earth in which there is life, I have given all green vegetation for food. And it was so. After that, God saw everything he had made, and look, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, a sixth day. Chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth and everything in them were completed. And by the seventh day God had completed the work that he had been doing, and he began to rest on the seventh day from all his work that he had been doing. And God went on to bless the seventh day, and to declare it sacred, for on it God has been resting from all the work that he has created, all that he purposed to make. This is a history of the heavens and the earth in the time they were created, in the day that Jehovah God made earth and heaven. No bush of the field was yet on the earth, and no vegetation of the field had begun sprouting, because Jehovah God had not made it rain on the earth, and there was no man to cultivate the ground. But a mist would go up from the earth, and it watered the entire surface of the ground. And Jehovah God went on to form the man out of dust from the ground, and to blow into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living person. Further, Jehovah God planted a garden in Eden toward the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. Thus Jehovah God made to grow out of the ground every tree that was pleasing to look at and good for food, and also the tree of life in the middle of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and bad. Now there was a river flowing out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it divided into 4 rivers. The name of the first is Pishon. It is the one encircling the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of that land is good. Bdellium gum and onyx stone are also there. The name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one encircling the entire land of Cush. The name of the third river is Hiddekel. It is the one going to the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. Jehovah God took the man and settled him in the Garden of Eden to cultivate it and to take care of it. Jehovah God also gave this command to the man: From every tree of the garden you may eat to satisfaction. But as for the tree of the knowledge of good and bad, you must not eat from it, for in the day you eat from it, you will certainly die. Then Jehovah God said, It is not good for the man to continue to be alone. I am going to make a helper for him, as a complement of him. Now Jehovah God had been forming from the ground every wild animal of the field, and every flying creature of the heavens, and he began bringing them to the man, to see what he would call each one. And whatever the man would call each living creature, that became its name. So the man named all the domestic animals, and the flying creatures of the heavens, and every wild animal of the field. But for man there was no helper as a complement of him. So Jehovah God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep, and while he was sleeping, he took one of his ribs, and then closed up the flesh over its place. And Jehovah God built the rib that he had taken from the man into a woman, and he brought her to the man. Then the man said,
This is at last bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one will be called woman, because from man she was taken.
That is why a man will leave his father and his mother, and he will stick to his wife, and they will become one flesh. And both of them continued to be naked, the man and his wife, yet they were not ashamed. Chapter 3. Now the serpent was the most cautious of all the wild animals of the field that Jehovah God had made. So it said to the woman,
Did God really say that you must not eat from every tree of the garden?
At this the woman said to the serpent,
We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but God has said about the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, You must not eat from it. No, you must not touch it. Otherwise you will die.
At this the serpent said to the woman,
You certainly will not die, for God knows that in the very day you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and bad.
Consequently, the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was something desirable to the eyes. Yes, the tree was pleasing to look at. So she began taking of its fruit and eating it. Afterward she also gave some to her husband when he was with her, and he began eating it. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they realized that they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made loin coverings for themselves. Later they heard the voice of Jehovah God as he was walking in the garden about the breezy part of the day. And the man and his wife hid from the face of Jehovah God among the trees of the garden. And Jehovah God kept calling to the man and saying to him, Where are you? Finally he said,
I heard your voice in the garden, but I was afraid because I was naked. So I hid myself.
At that he said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree from which I commanded you not to eat? The man said,
The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me fruit from the tree, so I ate.
Jehovah God then said to the woman, What is this you have done? The woman replied,
The serpent deceived me, so I ate.
Then Jehovah God said to the serpent, Because you have done this, you are the cursed one out of all the domestic animals, and out of all the wild animals of the field. On your belly you will go, and you will eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will crush your head, and you will strike him in the heel. To the woman he said, I will greatly increase the pain of your pregnancy. In pain you will give birth to children, and your longing will be for your husband, and he will dominate you. And to Adam he said, Because you listened to your wife's voice, and ate from the tree concerning which I gave you this command, you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground on your account. In pain you will eat its produce all the days of your life. It will grow thorns and thistles for you, and you must eat the vegetation of the field. In the sweat of your face you will eat bread, until you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return. After this, Adam named his wife Eve, because she was to become the mother of everyone living. And Jehovah God made long garments from skins for Adam and for his wife, to clothe them. Jehovah God then said, Here the man has become like one of us, in knowing good and bad. Now in order that he may not put his hand out and take fruit also from the tree of life, and eat and live forever. With that, Jehovah God expelled him from the Garden of Eden, to cultivate the ground from which he had been taken. So he drove the man out, and he posted at the east of the Garden of Eden the cherubs, and the flaming blade of a sword that was turning continuously to guard the way to the tree of life. Chapter 4. Now Adam had sexual relations with his wife Eve, and she became pregnant. When she gave birth to Cain, she said,
I have produced a male child with the help of Jehovah.
Later she again gave birth to his brother Abel. Abel became a shepherd of the flock, but Cain became a cultivator of the ground. After some time, Cain brought some fruits of the land as an offering to Jehovah. But Abel brought some firstlings of his flock, including their fat. While Jehovah looked with favor on Abel and on his offering, he did not look with any favor on Cain and on his offering. So Cain grew hot with anger and was dejected. Then Jehovah said to Cain, Why are you so angry and dejected? If you turn to doing good, will you not be restored to favor? But if you do not turn to doing good, sin is crouching at the door, and its craving is to dominate you. But will you get the mastery over it? After that, Cain said to his brother Abel,
Let us go over into the field.
So while they were in the field, Cain assaulted his brother Abel and killed him. Later on, Jehovah said to Cain, Where is your brother Abel? And he said,
I do not know. Am I my brother's guardian?
At this he said, What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground. And now you are cursed in banishment from the ground, that has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you cultivate the ground, it will not give you back its produce. You will become a wanderer and a fugitive in the earth. At this Cain said to Jehovah,
The punishment for my error is too great to bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your face. And I will become a wanderer and a fugitive on the earth, and anyone who finds me will certainly kill me.
So Jehovah said to him, For that reason, anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times. So Jehovah set up a sign for Cain, in order that no one finding him would strike him. Then Cain went away from before Jehovah, and took up residence in the land of exile, to the east of Eden. Afterward, Cain had sexual relations with his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Then he engaged in building a city, and named the city after his son Enoch. Later, Irad was born to Enoch. And Irad became father to Mehujael, and Mehujael became father to Methushael, and Methushael became father to Lamech. Lamech took 2 wives for himself. The name of the first was Adah, and the name of the second was Zillah. Adah gave birth to Jabal. He was the founder of those who dwell in tents and have livestock. His brother's name was Jubal. He was the founder of all those who play the harp and the pipe. Also Zillah gave birth to Tubal-Cain, who forged every sort of tool of copper and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. Then Lamech composed these words for his wives Adah and Zillah.
Hear my voice, you wives of Lamech. Give ear to my saying. A man I have killed for wounding me, yes, a young man for striking me. If 7 times Cain is to be avenged, then Lamech 77 times.
Adam again had sexual relations with his wife, and she gave birth to a son. She named him Seth, because, as she said,
God has appointed for me another offspring in place of Abel, because Cain killed him.
There was also born to Seth a son, and he named him Enosh. At that time, people began calling on the name of Jehovah. Chapter 5. This is the book of Adam's history. In the day that God created Adam, he made him in the likeness of God. Male and female he created them. On the day they were created, he blessed them and named them man. Adam lived for 130 years, and then became father to a son in his likeness, in his image, and he named him Seth. After becoming father to Seth, Adam lived for 800 years, and he became father to sons and daughters. So all the days of Adam's life amounted to 930 years, and then he died. Seth lived for 105 years, and then became father to Enosh. After becoming father to Enosh, Seth lived for 807 years, and he became father to sons and daughters. So all the days of Seth amounted to 912 years, and then he died. Enosh lived for 90 years, and then became father to Kenan. After becoming father to Kenan, Enosh lived for 815 years, and he became father to sons and daughters. So all the days of Enosh amounted to 905 years, and then he died. Kenan lived for 70 years, and then became father to Mahalalel. After becoming father to Mahalalel, Kenan lived for 840 years, and he became father to sons and daughters. So all the days of Kenan amounted to 910 years, and then he died. Mahalalel lived for 65 years, and then became father to Jared. After becoming father to Jared, Mahalalel lived for 830 years, and he became father to sons and daughters. So all the days of Mahalalel amounted to 895 years, and then he died. Jared lived for 162 years, and then became father to Enoch. After becoming father to Enoch, Jared lived for 800 years, and he became father to sons and daughters. So all the days of Jared amounted to 962 years, and then he died. Enoch lived for 65 years, and then became father to Methuselah. After becoming father to Methuselah, Enoch continued to walk with the true God for 300 years, and he became father to sons and daughters. So all the days of Enoch amounted to 365 years. Enoch kept walking with the true God. Then he was no more, for God took him. Methuselah lived for 187 years, and then became father to Lamech. After becoming father to Lamech, Methuselah lived for 782 years, and he became father to sons and daughters. So all the days of Methuselah amounted to 969 years, and then he died. Lamech lived for 182 years, and then became father to a son. He named him Noah, saying,
"This one will bring us comfort from our labor and from the painful toil of our hands because of the ground that Jehovah has cursed."
After becoming father to Noah, Lamech lived for 595 years, and he became father to sons and daughters. So all the days of Lamech amounted to 777 years, and then he died. After Noah reached 500 years of age, he became father to Shem, Ham, and Japheth.